In 2018, President Trump extended an invitation to white South African farmers, the Afrikaners, to seek refuge in the United States. This move was unprecedented and caught many by surprise, as it was not a common practice for the U.S. to offer refuge to a specific ethnic group from a country not in a state of war. He cited concerns over land expropriation laws in South Africa. These laws were part of a broader effort by the South African government to address historical injustices and redistribute land more equitably among its citizens. However, the process was fraught with controversy and tension. This invitation was met with immediate backlash. Critics argued that it was an overreach of U.S. foreign policy and an inappropriate intervention in South Africa's domestic affairs. Social media erupted with debates, and news outlets around the world covered the story extensively. Many saw it as a dog whistle to white nationalists. They believed that the invitation was a signal to Trump's base, which included elements that were sympathetic to white nationalist ideologies. This perception further polarized an already divided American society. It also reignited historical tensions between the U.S. and Africa. The relationship between the two has been complex, marked by periods of cooperation and conflict. This move by Trump was seen by many African leaders as a continuation of a paternalistic attitude that has long characterized Western interactions with the continent. The invitation, coming amidst a crackdown on immigration, seemed hypocritical. At the same time that Trump was offering refuge to white South African farmers, his administration was implementing strict immigration policies that targeted refugees and immigrants from other parts of the world, particularly those from Latin America and Muslim-majority countries. It reeked of a selective empathy that prioritized one group over countless others facing persecution. This selective approach to humanitarianism was criticized by many human rights organizations, who argued that all refugees and persecuted individuals deserve equal consideration and protection. This move felt like a throwback to a bygone era. It evoked memories of colonialism and the ways in which Western powers have historically meddled in African affairs, often to the detriment of the local populations. It reminded many of the West's history of interfering in African affairs. The invitation was seen as another instance of Western countries imposing their will on African nations, rather than supporting them in their efforts to address their own challenges in a manner that respects their sovereignty and autonomy. African leaders responded swiftly and decisively to the proposal put forth by President Trump. With one voice, they issued a unified rejection, making it clear that they would not entertain such interference. They denounced Trump's offer as blatant interference in their internal matters, a move they found both disrespectful and unwarranted. The African Union, representing 55 member states, issued a strong condemnation, emphasizing their collective stance. They saw the offer not just as an unwelcome intrusion, but as a calculated ploy to destabilize the region and undermine their sovereignty. The rejection was about more than just land reform. It was a stand against any form of external manipulation. It was a refusal to be pawns in a global game, a clear message that Africa would not be dictated to by foreign powers. This unified stance signaled a growing assertiveness on the African continent, a newfound confidence in their ability to govern their own affairs. It was a declaration to the world: Africa will chart its own course, free from external pressures and influences. This moment marked a significant shift in the geopolitical landscape, showcasing Africa's determination to stand united. The leaders emphasized the importance of solidarity and mutual respect among African nations, reinforcing their commitment to collective progress. This rejection also resonated with the younger generation, inspiring a sense of pride and empowerment across the continent. It was a powerful reminder that Africa's future would be shaped by Africans themselves, rooted in their rich heritage and diverse cultures. As the world watched, Africa's unified rejection of external interference stood as a testament to their resilience and unwavering spirit. This was not just a political statement, but a profound affirmation of Africa's right to self-determination and autonomy. The message was clear: Africa is ready to forge its own path, with dignity and strength. To understand this reaction, one must delve into the troubled history of U.S.-Africa relations. For centuries, the U.S. benefited from the transatlantic slave trade. This brutal system saw millions of Africans shipped across the Atlantic. They were forced into chattel slavery. Even after slavery's abolition, exploitation continued. Colonial powers, including the U.S., carved up Africa. They plundered its resources for their own gain. This legacy of exploitation continues to cast a long shadow. The struggle for independence. The mid-20th century saw a wave of independence movements across Africa. Nations fought for self-determination, for the right to govern themselves. The US often played a contradictory role. It supported dictators who aligned with its Cold War interests. This history fueled skepticism towards US intentions. The rejection of Trump's offer was a culmination of this long, troubled relationship. It was a demand for respect, for partnership, not paternalism. Voices of resistance. African leaders did not mince words in their responses. They called out the hypocrisy of Trump's offer. They highlighted the plight of refugees from other nations. They questioned his administration's commitment to human rights. "This is a slap in the face," declared one president. "We will not be lectured on morality by those who have consistently turned their backs on us," stated another. Their message was clear: Africa will not be bullied. Global and local reactions. The global community watched with bated breath. Some praised the African Union's strong stance. Others saw it as a sign of growing global divisions. Within Africa, the response was overwhelmingly positive. Ordinary citizens took to the streets. They waved flags and chanted slogans of unity. The message resonated. Africa is not for sale. It will not be a pawn in anyone's game. The future of US-Africa relations. As we look ahead, the relationship between the United States and Africa stands at a critical juncture. The decisions made today will have lasting impacts on both continents. The rejection of Trump's offer marked a turning point. This moment was more than just a political statement. It was a declaration of Africa's growing assertiveness on the global stage. African leaders made it clear that they seek partnerships based on equality and mutual benefit. It signaled a shift in the dynamics between the US and Africa. No longer content with one-sided deals, African nations are demanding a seat at the table where decisions are made. This shift is not just political, but also economic and cultural. It underscored the need for a new approach, built on mutual respect and understanding. The future of US-Africa relations will depend on how well both sides can listen to each other's needs and aspirations. This means engaging in honest dialogue and fostering genuine collaboration. The future of US-Africa relations hangs in the balance. The choices made by policymakers today will determine whether this relationship will be one of mutual growth or missed opportunities. The stakes are high, and the world is watching. Will the US learn from its past mistakes? History has shown that previous attempts at engagement have often been marred by misunderstandings and unequal power dynamics. Reflecting on these past errors is crucial for building a more equitable future. Will it embrace a partnership of equals? The potential for a prosperous future lies in recognizing and valuing the contributions of both sides. A partnership of equals can lead to innovative solutions to global challenges, from economic development to climate change. The answer to these questions will shape the relationship for generations to come. The youth of today, both in the US and Africa, are watching and waiting. They are the future leaders who will inherit the outcomes of today's decisions. It is up to the current generation to pave the way for a brighter, more inclusive future.